Letter to Teresa and Martha Blount, September 1717, by Alexander Pope. Ladies, I came from Stoner, its master not being at home, to Oxford the same night. Nothing could have more of that melancholy which once used to please me than that day's journey. For after having passed through my favorite woods in the forest, with 1,000 reveries of past pleasures, I rid overhanging hills, whose tops were edged with groves, and whose feet watered with winding rivers, listening to the falls of cataracts below, and the murmuring of winds above. The gloomy verdure of Stoner succeeded to these, and then the shades of the evening overtook me. The moon rose in the clearest sky I ever saw, by whose solemn light I paced on slowly, without company or any interruption to the range of my thoughts. About a mile before I reached Oxford, all the night bells tolled in different notes. The clocks of every college answered one another, and told me, some in deeper, some in a softer voice, that it was 11 o'clock. All this was no ill preparation to the life I have led since. Among those old walls, venerable galleries, stone porticos, studious walks, and solitary scenes of the university, I wanted nothing but a black gown and a salary, to be as mere a bookworm as any there. I conformed myself to the college hours, was rolled up in books and wrapped in meditation, lay in one of the most ancient dusky parts of the university, and was as dead to the world as any hermit of the desert. If anything was awake or alive in me, it was a little vanity, such as even those good men used to entertain when the monks of their own order extolled their piety and abstractedness. For I found myself received with the sort of respect which this idle part of mankind, the learned, pay to their own species, who are as considerable here as the busy, the gay, and the ambitious are in your world. Indeed, I was so treated that I could not but sometimes ask myself in my mind what college I was founder of, or what library I had built. Methinks I do very ill to return to the world again and leave the only place where I make a good figure, and from seeing myself seated with dignity on the most conspicuous shelves of a library, go to contemplate this wretched person in the abject condition of lying at a lady's feet in Bolton Street. I will not deny but that, like Alexander, in the midst of my glory, I am wounded, and find myself a mere man. To tell you from whence the dart comes is to no purpose, since neither of you will take the tender care to draw it out of my heart, and suck the poison with your lips, or are in any disposition to take a part of the venom yourselves to ease me. Here at my Lord Harcourt's I see a creature nearer an angel than a woman, though a woman be very near as good as an angel. I think you have formerly heard me mention Mrs. Jennings as a credit to the Maker of angels. She is a relation of his lordship's, and he gravely proposed her to me for a wife, being tender of her interests, and knowing, what is a shame to Providence, that she is less indebted to fortune than I. I told him his lordship could never have thought of such a thing but for his misfortune of being blind, and that I never could till I was so. But that, as matters now were, I did not care to force so fine a woman to give the finishing stroke to all my deformities. By the last mark of a beast, horns. Now I am talking of beauty. I shall see my Lady Jane Hyde tomorrow at Cornbury. I shall pass a day and night at Blenheim Park, and will then hasten home, taking Reading in my way. I have everywhere made inquiry if it be possible to get any annuities on sound security. It would really be an inexpressible joy to me if I could serve you, and I will always do my utmost to give myself pleasure. I beg you both to think as well of me, that is, to think me as much yours as anyone else. What degree of friendship and tenderness I feel for you, I must be content with being sure of myself. But I shall be glad if you believe it in any degree. Allow me as much as you can, and think as well as you are able of one whose imperfections are so manifest, and who thinks so little of himself as to think 10 times more of either of you.